Now, for the further discussion of this topic, for me, the most important thing is this. At 2, I got some non-zero number 11. At -3, I got some number -4. So sometimes the polynomial value will be positive, sometimes the polynomial value will be negative, different values. Particularly that value where the polynomial takes 0 is more important to us. Where the polynomial takes 0, that value x equal to 1 is called a 0 of that polynomial. What was our polynomial? 2x square plus 5x minus 7. And the wording is normal English language only. Why do we call it as a 0 of the polynomial? Because it is that value where I'm getting the polynomial value is 0. That's why where I'm getting it is called a 0. And coming to the future classes, the same word 0 is replaced with the word root.
So
Is also
solution.
called as root of. Yeah or no?
Sir, it is also called as solution.
It is also called a solution provided I have equal to 0. I'll get back to that. Polynomial equations. These are all expressions, right? We'll differentiate them.
Sir.
Correct. It is also called a solution. Wherever I use the word root, it can also be called as solution. So let's write the definition first. For the polynomial p of x, if a is any constant such that, how is this a? The value of the polynomial by substituting the variable x with a is 0, then that variable x equal to a is called 0 of the polynomial. And this big statement put up in mathematics is, mathematically is, if polynomial value at a, p of a is 0, then x equal to a is a 0 of the polynomial p of x. Write the statement carefully. Completed, Sahas? Milan? Right. They are also called as roots. Okay. Now these are some important points. A linear polynomial will have only one zero. In the coming classes, we will have proofs of this. Don't worry. When we do factor theorem, we will again come back to these statements. Now actually I have put up these zeros on the first session I put up for that only. I wanted to do this zeros as well as factors at the same time. Factor theorem and zeros of a polynomial, if we do it both at the same time, it will be more convenient. So just mention the statements. A linear polynomial has only one zero. That means if first degree polynomial is there, it will have only one place where it becomes 0. Let us check this. Suppose I have 2x minus 4. Is this linear polynomial? Yes. First degree only. Highest degree is 1. The next term is of 0 degree. So highest degree is 1. So this is linear. At what value of x will this become 0? What happens if I put x equal to 2 into this?
2.
2 into 2, 4, minus 4, it becomes 0. So what is the 0 of this polynomial? 2 is a 0 of this polynomial. At no other real value, this polynomial 2x minus 4 other than 2 will ever become 0. If you want, you check it. You put any other value of x. This polynomial will never give me 0. This gives me only at one value, that is x equal to 2. That's what this statement says. A linear polynomial has only one 0. Next, a quadratic polynomial may have at most two zeros. Just now we have seen something like 2x square plus 5x minus 7. What we got? X equal to 1 is a value where it becomes 0. If you want, you cross check. Even minus 7 by 2 also it will give you 0. If you put minus 7 by 2 for x, it's going to be 2 times x square, that means 49 by 4 plus 5 times x minus 7 by 2 minus 7. This cancels here by 2 times, so it is 49 by 2 minus 35 by 2. Because both of them are having denominator 2, I'll write the 7 also as 14 by 2. LCM gets easier. Now that all denominators are 2, what is the numerator now? It is 49 minus 35 minus 14. 35 minus 35 minus 14 is minus 49. It is 49 minus 49, 0. 0 by 2 is going to be 0. So this is becoming 0. 1, we already just did the example, last slide. The other one will be minus 7 by 2. Other than these two, you substitute any other value, it will never become 0. Now the quadratic, that is a second degree polynomial, will have at most 2 zeros. Now why did I use the word at most? Previously in the first statement I said has only 1 zero. It is confirmed. But for quadratic I didn't mention that it has 2 roots. I said at most 2 roots. For the negation statement, suppose if I have an equation like x square plus 4 equal to 0. When will this equation become 0? You put any value of x in this, 1, 5, positive, negative, fraction, zeros, anything you put. Because x square will always be positive. Positive number added to 4, this will never get 0. That means such a quadratic polynomials are there which will not give us 0 for any value of x. So may exist, zeros may exist, zeros may not exist. That's why we used the word at most 2 zeros. Is that clear? Every word, that's what I was telling you from the beginning. Every word in the statement should be very given importance while learning. Linear equation will definitely have, but quadratic converts, that is more than first degree, the equation may have a 0, the equation may not have a 0. Clear, Bhumika? Milan? Milan is not able to talk, I can understand, but Milan is not able to type also. Yeah, good, good. Now he is typing. That's good. Can somebody expect what is going to be the next statement? A cubic polynomial may have at most 3 zeros. Second degree polynomial, 2 roots. Third degree polynomial, at most 3 roots. So what happens if I generalize this statement? In general, a polynomial of degree n will have at most n zeros. May not be there, may be there, we don't know. But if they are there, maximum should be only nth degree, n. Cubic, maximum 3. Fourth degree, maximum 4. 10th degree, maximum 10. If at all there are there will be 10.
Okay, sir.
But be careful during. So is this 4 statements mentioned and the idea behind the statements is clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Milan, don't worry. Already I have seen your messages, but Vinay sir will answer you. Don't worry. Yeah, one simple example. If 0 and 1 are the zeros of such a polynomial, some polynomial is given, 2x cubed minus 3x square plus ax plus b. The problem is there are 2 unknowns in this. One is a and one is b, which we need to find. What is the condition he gave? 0 and 1 are the zeros of the polynomial. So let's consider f of x. 2x cubed minus 3x square plus ax plus b. Now what do we mean by 0 is a 0 of the polynomial? That means when I put x equal to 0, I should get 0. Similarly, he says 1 is also 0. That means in the polynomial, if I replace x with 1, I should get 0. Two conditions are there. What happens if I apply the first condition? 2 times 0 cube, 3 times 0 square, a times 0 plus b is 0. 2 times 0 cube is 0, 3 times 0 square is 0, a times 0 is 0. What is left is only b. So one of the value I got. The value of the unknown b is 0. Now still a is unknown to us. Let's see, maybe the second condition would help us. What is f of 1? 2 times 1 cube, 3 times 1 square, a times 1 plus b is anyway 0. Is 0. So 2 times 1 cube, that is 2. 3 times 1 square, 3. A is 1. 0 is 0. So what I got now? Minus 1 plus a is 0. So what's a value now? Did we get both the values of a and b?
Yes, sir.
Right. Don't copy from the board. Try to do the condition. It's a simple substitution only. So go through it. Yes, I understood. Then you can try one more on the same way. Verify whether the indicated numbers are zeros of the polynomial. That is, two questions are there. One is p of x is x square. Is x a zero of it or not? Another one is 2x square minus 4. Is x equal to 1 a zero or not? Check it up.
So the first one is true while the second one is false.
Okay. He says first one is a zero, but second one will not be, I mean x equal to 1 will not be a zero of the second polynomial. Correct? What about others? When I substitute x equal to 0 in the first case, that is when my p of x is x square, x equal to 0. That means p of 0 is 0 square, which is 0. Therefore, x equal to 0 is a 0. Correct. What happens to the second case? P of x when it became 2x square minus 4, and he says x equal to 1. That means I need to calculate p of 1. 2 times 1 square minus 4. That is minus 2, which is not 0. That means x equal to 1 is not a 0. Now my question as an extension to the asked part is, if 1 is not a 0, what is the value of x which is 0? What are the zeros of the polynomial? 2x square minus 4. I got it out. Look at the first case. You said x equal to 0 is a 0 of x square, correct? But x square is a quadratic expression. So quadratic polynomial should have two roots. One of
Yes.
the value, one of the 0 is visible, 0. What should be the second 0?
Sir, I'm finding out.
For 2x square minus 4 or x square?
So
Bhumika
for
says x equal to
px,
2. Bhumika, x equal to 2 will not give you 0. Check it up. 2 times 2 square minus 4. That will give you 8 minus 4. That's 4. Will not be 0. Yeah, Arnav, sorry, I didn't follow with you.
sir, I'm finding the zero for b. b at x
Okay.
2
Yeah,
x.
find the zeros of b first. There are two questions now. One is find the zeros of b. Second question is what is the second zero of x square? 1 0 is visible, x equal to 0. What should be the other 0? Because the condition says 2 should be there. Now here I have only 1. Sahas, what are the zeros of 2x square minus 4? Second B case. I don't think it is that difficult. 2 times x square minus 4 should finally give me 0. That means 2x square should somehow give me 4. That means x square should give me 2. Then what is x value? Plus or minus root 2. One of the value is plus root 2 and another 0 is minus root 2. There are two zeros. One is plus root 2 and the other one is minus root 2. Two zeros are present. Correct, Bhumika?
Sir, how can we do using the factorization method?
We'll come back. This also we can do by factorization. Why not? If I want to do this only by factorization, what I will do is 2x square minus 4, right? I'll take out 2 common first because 2 is a constant which is common in both, minus 2. So 2 times x square minus this 2, I'll write it as root 2 whole square. So how is the term inside the bracket? Is it not in the form a square minus b square? That is x plus root 2 into x minus root 2. If this polynomial has to be 0, then this factorization should give me 0. Now product of two factors should be 0. When is it possible? If one of them is 0. Now first factor 2 can never be 0. So only other two possibilities are x plus root 2 equal to 0 or x minus root 2 equal to 0. X plus root 2 is 0, then x should be equal to minus root 2. X minus root 2 equal to 0, x should be equal to root 2. Thoda the board has gone more clumsy kind of a thing. Don't mind, but this is the only method. As he says how to do it with factorization, I brought this third method also into picture. Is that clear or no now? Factorization?
Yes, sir.
Right. Yeah. What about the first case? A case, what is the other 0? The important thing is the other 0 is also 0. So when there are two roots, they need not be always two different numbers. Like here I got plus root 2 and the other one is minus root 2. Possible to be different. But they need not be always different. They can be same. They are called repeated zeros. X equal to 0, x equal to 0. And still we agree that there are two roots. One of them is 0, the other one is also 0. Right? Can we move ahead? Completed? Sahas? Bhumika corrected? Right. Try this problem. If minus 2 is a 0 of the polynomial and the value of the polynomial at x equal to 4, sorry, polynomial is 4 at x equal to 2, then find the value of b. Quick to answer. I'm waiting for your replies.